Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. Well, I'm making this a separate video, but I just finished cleaning out that middle pen. My wagon's full again, but that ain't what this video is about. I've already recorded that video, and my microphone, the new ones I bought, I didn't have it fully charged. It died for the last 10-15 minutes of video, so I'm gonna do some kind of editing, I don't know. But either way, this video is about these cannibalistic Rhode Island Reds I bought from somebody else. They were already teenagers. They weren't laying yet, but they were already teenagers. And they were eating theirself. The guy I bought them from kept them in a mobile chicken run or coop with wire for a floor, you know, like hardware cloth type stuff. And basically it was 6 inches above the ground, so they never really could scratch on the ground and eat much grass. Just a little bit that poked through. It wasn't a whole lot because they couldn't get to it. But he fed them on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday is what he told me. So every time he went out there, he'd find one or two more chickens dead, and they'd been pretty much eaten by the other chickens. And you know, I keep my feeders full. They've always got access to food. But I haven't had them kill another chicken, but they were picking on Sue, and I moved him away from them. With the 3 I raised, they don't pick at him at all. And the black sex links are starting to pick up on that a little bit. And guys, I'm getting way more eggs than I can possibly get rid of now. Normally I crack them and put them in a, you know, crack them into a bowl, 1 and 2 dozen at the time, and put them in a Ziploc bag, you know, mix them up, put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of eggs frozen in Ziploc bags stored. Now, to me, being a prepper, that's not a bad thing. And I have gotten Ziploc bags out. Like when the dogs killed all my chickens and I didn't have eggs, I didn't go buy eggs. I got my Ziploc bag out of the freezer, and I poured, you know, thawed it out in the fridge. You can just let it thaw. Or if you need it right away, you can put it in some water and help it thaw. But I did that. I just thawed it out and then poured out of the Ziploc bag what I wanted to cook. And that's worked out well for me. But I'm getting way more eggs right now than I'm using. And I got to do something about these cannibalistic hens. And it seems to be spreading into the black sex links, which I don't like. But I was talking with a friend of mine. He used to work on independent chicken farmer that had a lot, and he was telling me when they had that happen, if they had a hen that was picking on other hens or roosters, in my case they're picking on the roosters, they just picked the feathers out and, you know, cause sores and stuff. He said they would sit out there with a 22 with shorts in it, 22 short, and shoot them in the head every time he saw one that was picking on another chicken. And he said until you get rid of all those that are picking on them, the problem ain't gonna go away. It's gonna keep spreading. And I kind of hate to do that, but when you've got 15 Rhode Island Reds, it may only be 3 or 4 that's doing it. It may only be 2 or 3 of the black sex links that's doing it. I don't know. They all look so much alike. Once they run off, I don't know which one it was. So I took it upon myself today. I didn't get a 22 out, but I carry my sidearm, my Smith & Wesson M&P, and I'm in there shoveling that stuff out of that pen, the floor and all, using the pickaxe, getting down to the hard clay and shoveling it up and loading that wagon. And sure enough, they've been picking on Junior for about a week. And I'll show y'all if I get a chance. They picked a lot of the feathers off his back end, above his legs, not his butt. And that's not a good thing. That's just not a good thing. And eventually they'll create a sore, and you'll lose the chicken. And I don't want to lose my roosters because that's my breeding stock. But I took my pistol off a little while ago when I had one picking on her, and I dropped it like a hot biscuit. And immediately, several of the other chickens ran up and started picking at that one. And I threw it in the wagon with all the compost, and it'll go in the compost pile down there. It's, you know, I hate to do that, but I've got to stop that behavior before it spreads through the entire flock and I don't have healthy chickens anymore because of it. I've got to stop it. So I know some of y'all are going to give me a hard time about it, negative comments and so on. By the way, let me zoom back out. My dark female turkey hen grooming herself, but she's here. But I've got to get rid of that habit out of these chickens. And if that means getting rid of them one at a time as I see them picking on him, then that's just what I'm going to do. And he said it worked for them. They didn't have to kill the whole flock. What I was telling him I was going to do was, as soon as the weather allowed me to, was to just butcher all the Rhode Island Reds. But he said, he's like, Michael, that may not be all the Rhode Island Reds. It may only be a few of them. And it made sense to me. I don't want to butcher them all if they're not the ones doing it. And the black sex link, like I say, they've started a little bit on him. So if y'all can see, I'm going to get up and I'm going to zoom in. He's walking away. But if you look at the base of his neck when he's got his head up high, his feathers are really thin there. See how it's lighter? I've seen the black sex links pulling at those feathers. But if you look right in front of his tail, there's a light spot all across his back from one side to the other. They picked most of the adult feathers out, and he's got a lot of baby ones in there. And his comb is bloody, and I think that's from trying to fight with the new male for the other side. But it's really hard for me to do that. One is, I've told y'all, I don't have room in my freezers for 15 or 20 more chickens. I've got 300 pounds of chicken stored already that either I purchased and packaged up and put in the freezer, or I butchered myself, and I don't put mine in the freezer whole, y'all. I go ahead and cut them up just like you would in the store, some with pulley bone, some without, but I go ahead and cut them up because I cut meat for over 30 years. So I go ahead and cut all mine up, and I freeze a bag of wings, freeze a bag of legs and thighs and breast, and, you know, all that good stuff. But I've got to take care of that problem, and that's what I'm doing now. So those of you that don't like it, I apologize. It's either this, one at a time as I see them doing it, so I can stop that behavior, or just butcher the whole flock. And that pretty much puts me back out of egg business, and I don't want to do that. So in the earlier video, I was talking about incubating some of their eggs, and when they get of age, you know, keeping them separate from these adults, of course, then butchering these chickens. But guys, I mean, that's going to be months and months. How many more are going to get picked on and possibly killed because of it? So I'm just going to do what my buddy Bill told me to do, and that's just take them out one at a time when I see it happen until the behavior is gone. And, you know, if I got to take out all of them, then I will. But I hope it doesn't come to that, because I have not seen every hen do that. But that's my plan. I may move Junior in with the Easter eggers over here, and see how he does over there, and move the new rooster in with the black sex links and the Rhode Island Reds. He's younger, he's a lot bigger, and maybe, you know, he can tolerate it a while and give Junior a little bit of time to heal, just like I've done with Sue. You know, it takes a while for them to grow their feathers back and their sores to heal and all that stuff. Sue seems to be in pretty good shape. I haven't picked him up and inspected him lately, but from just looking at him, he looks like he's doing okay. So Anywho, just thought I'd let you guys know. Don't be upset with me. I'm sorry. It's part of handling livestock on a farm, even a little mini farm like mine. Sometimes you have to cull the herd. You have to cull the flock and to make it healthier. And that's what I'm going to have to be doing. So thank you guys for watching. Remember what I've always told you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared.